Oh, yeah, it's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, coming at you live once more again. Also, what I need for you to do, sit back, relax, put on your headgear. Oh, my worthless 2 cents is about to put something in your ear. Oh, and here we go. Oh, look at here. Old Country Boy has taken a reservation for tonight. Look at here, y'all. Welcome to. I almost said Monday. It's Wednesday edition of my worthless 2 cents table talk, where your approval is not needed. Look at here. Tonight, I have special guests up here tonight. Man, all the way from D-Town. They ain't really in Dallas, a little bit outside. We just gonna call it Dallas. We just gonna leave it alone at that. We just gonna call it Dallas. These two young people right here, fantastic. I have known them for a while. I have watched them, and I know what they're doing up there in Dallas is something special. So it is the old Country Boy's honor. It is my privilege to accept the reservations at the table tonight for the Robinson group, man. And I'm gonna let them tell you all about them, what they do, where they come from, all of that old good stuff. So look here, old Country Boy just need for y'all to do one thing. Sit back, relax, put on your headgear. All the Robinsons are about to put something in your ear. My people, tell these people about yourself.
All right, I'll go first. My name is Joshua Robinson. I'm from Dallas, Texas, by way of Dallas, Texas, by way of Lancaster, Texas, L-Town, Texas, all of that good stuff. Everybody know what it's about. I'm 30. I'm part of, me and my wife, we're co-partners. I don't even know what to call it. What do we call it? We run what's called Robinson Training. So, we supply all your needs. We do family training, or we do specialized training. My wife does track, and I specialize in football, but I also specialize in mentorship for overweight young boys. So, you want your son to not be a couch potato, come see me. We work out together, and, I turn it into a little mentorship. So make these guys start to enjoy taking over their health and, start to make better choices in life. That's who I am. This is my wife.
Hi, I'm Laticia Robinson. I'm the track side and strength and conditioning side of Robinson Training. We also offer educational mentorship and educational tutoring also. So we actually, every year we do a whole bunch of nonprofit events and events to uplift the community, such as a graduate giveaway. We also host back to school, and we also just do regular trainings and mental health checks as well.
Man, that is super. Well, let me ask y'all, and I told you earlier, I don't do no questions. First and foremost, I know personally, but can you give a little bit of the background of the start of y'all? Where'd y'all meet at? I got the bulldogging up out of y'all.
Well, we met at Louisiana Tech University. I was on a recruiting trip, and I actually met Josh on my recruiting trip. He was already a football player in his first year. So we met there, fell in love. And so we had similar athletic backgrounds, and that's what really drew me to him and he to I. He can go further with that. We both understood athletics. We both understood what it meant and what it took to be successful. And so in that, I always had a heart to give back to the community in a sense of that's how I became who I was. Without my village, I wouldn't be where I am. It took a bunch of different people who weren't in my family, people who were in my family, to pour into me and take time and to just cultivate me to become the person I am. And I always wanted to do the same and give back as my way of saying thank you to those who helped me and just try to make the world a little bit better.
Yeah, that's great.
She tried to put me in the friend zone, y'all. That's what really happened. She tried to put me in the friend zone.
No.
we put some choices on the table, and I guess you made the right choice. Know your worth, King.
Oh man.
But yeah,
Wow,
we
it's
came on a
great
recruiting trip.
that the giving back part, paying it forward.
Yeah.
And I know, like, with going through school, college, and everything, and being there. Well, let me. How difficult of a transition, and I guess it's pretty cool because you both did the transition together from leaving college to starting a family, to starting your business.
So the transition from college to, I guess, adulthood without boundaries was pretty tough. That transition is something that you don't necessarily are taught about. So if anything, your parents tell you, go to college, get an education, go get a good job.
Right.
Start. But it's not that simple. We went months without jobs. We worked low-end jobs until we can get something. And it's not even in our career field, essentially. It's not in our degree plan.
Right.
But we get to use our degrees to help in all avenues. So
yeah, I know that y'all were doing, and because both of you are, I know that you were. Are you still both working? I mean, and I seen Josh. He out there winning championships and that. I think he gonna be the next coach of the Cowboys. But I don't know. I'm just saying. But are you both still working in the school?
Yeah. So she's at Cedar Hill High School, and I'm in the hood. I'm in Molina, in Dallas, the ISD. So yeah, we're very much involved with school still. For a little while, I stepped away from it, and it was the biggest mistake I ever made. So I stepped away from football and I became a mailman. Well, first I sold cell phones. I was just trying to make some money, and so I knew a guy. I think he made like $8,000 a month, like selling cell phones. And so I was like, I could sell anything to anybody. I could sell water to a fish.
Right.
So I went to do that, but then it just wasn't hitting like I thought it was. I overstepped my boundary and it wasn't my career field. And so I became a mailman, and benefits were great. Everything was great. But yeah, I was walking 17 miles a day, bro. Like in the snow, in the rain, it didn't matter. They wanted that mail delivered, and then you got newspaper delivered that day. House to house. We talking about maybe hitting 1,000 houses a day on foot.
Wow.
So I was like, yeah, I'm a big dude. So you know me, I'm not built for a lot of things. And that's one of the things I wasn't built for. And I just kind of felt like I was just really wasting away kind of. So, I told God, I was like, look, if you give me a coaching job, I'm gonna be on somebody's team come August. It was August of next year, but it was August nonetheless. So I stepped away from it, and I deeply regretted it. And I had to get back into it, but I had to do it the right way. So I had to get certified and do everything I needed to do. With private schools, you don't necessarily have to be certified. So I was really blessed to have an opportunity to be inside and be in a program while still getting my certification. And then I got on with a school called Nolan Catholic. And, people talk about generations of winning and championship heritage and all of that good stuff. That's exactly what that school was. I went from working maybe 5 days a week with the post office to 7 days a week with football.
Wow.
And, it was a full 7 days. So we would go in on Saturday from 7, and we wouldn't leave out until the work was done, which was probably about 8 or 9 o'clock. Come in on a Sunday morning, do more work, and then we would present the game plan to kids at 6 a.m. in the morning on Monday. And so, it was a very serious program, and they were serious about winning, and that's what we did. I had opportunities also to coach with Deion Sanders at Trinity Christian in Cedar Hill.
Okay.
So that gave me that little notch under my belt to say, hey, I want a state championship, so I know what it takes to get, to a successful point. And so now I'm stepping into more of a leadership role as far as I still coach kids, obviously, but now I'm moving more toward coaching coaches.
Okay.
And so, you never know that you need to do something you need to do something more until you start coaching people that coach the kids. And then you realize that, everybody wants to be a good coach, but not everybody wants to do the work to be a good coach. So now I'm learning what that leadership is, leading men, and instead of, leading young men, now I'm leading grown men. It's a totally different avenue. It's uncomfortable sometimes, but, you can't grow if you're not comfortable. So.
Right. That's really, man. I had no idea about that. And when you say that about coaching the coaches, because I guess sometimes this may sound crazy. Sometimes we put people in positions that they're not qualified for.
Yeah.
And
sometimes they don't even know they're not qualified.
Right. Man, and that is a tremendous step for you. I think that your college coaches, both of your college coaches, the track coach and the football coach, have to be very proud of y'all to carry on what they have instilled in you.
Yeah. I hope so. I'm doing it all because they taught me the most about who I was. I went into college as a puppy. I came out a dog. So,
Man, but look, tell me more about the Robinson group. Well, and how did you go? Like, how did you both get together and go? Like, you know what? Let's do this.
Well, we really just started off by just helping kids at our first jobs. Our first teaching and coaching jobs were at Trinity Christian, Cedar Hill. And so we just saw a need to help the kids. Like, some kids had never experienced what it was like to have a coach who just knew what was going on and knew what to do as far as being detailed. Not saying they didn't have good coaches, but they didn't have us. And so, we're young and we're fresh and we have all the time in the world. We didn't have, Jocelyn at the time. So, he would always pull his older guys like, hey, come on, let's work out. Let me help you get to the next level. Let me help sharpen your skills. And so I would do the same. I would take girls or guys and just say, hey, let's get to the track. If you want to go get your goal, let's go for it. Let me show you some things. Let's clean up on those things that you need to work on. And so, it was a hobby kind of at first, but then it just kind of like, hey, we could really do this. Like, we enjoyed doing it. It didn't feel like work. And so, we put a lot of time into it, especially with our coaching. And we just say, you know what, let's just do it. We'll be Robinson Training. And so with that, I always wanted my own thing. Like, my biggest dream in life was to own my own facility. Something similar to the YMCA, something that is big and broad, that provided every aspect, had track, it had gymnastics, and it was affordable for people to come and, thrive at, regardless of the sport. And so we just said, we can just start our own thing and just build into whatever we're supposed to have, because whatever that looks like, God knows, we just gonna keep walking in that path.
Yeah, and that is great. And I sit here and I think that what you're pouring into these kids, some may have never had it poured into them before. Giving them the time, the attention, the love, and showing them that you care and believe in them. That's an amazing thing. That is an amazing thing.
Oh no, for sure. And that's something that, every school we've been at, we try to at least leave a mark somewhere, leave a legacy in some way. Josh just secured a deal for his school so that, especially inner city schools, you don't know what kids aren't eating. You don't know what kids are going through at home. And I think COVID just really exposed a lot of it.
Yes.
So us as coaches, and, once we develop relationships with those kids and, they're comfortable enough for us to, to tell us like things that they're going through, we just try to reach out as much as we can and do what we can. And if we don't know how to do it, we find somebody that does.
There you go. How is there with the other, or say older people who have been around the coaching game and the training game, was it kind of like they looked at you kind of like, who these young folk coming up in here, and who they think they think they is?
If you got some real coaches, they want it. If you got real coaches, like I say, just like there's genuine people and there's fake people around. You got some genuine coaches out here. They old school, but they know a coach when they see one. So me personally, the school I'm at now, it's not the best traditional school for football. Obviously, we're a 95% Latino school, so football is not the first love. Kids will miss a football game for a quinceañera. They'll miss if they got to go to work, they got to go to work. So,
Right.
but we have some coaches that's been coaching at this school 25, 30 years since it's been open. And, they applaud me all the time. Hey, J-Rob, you getting them outside. J-Rob, you doing a good job. J-Rob, we need that. J-Rob, you should put this on Twitter because, people need to see that. And, I'm starting to work on my presence a little bit, but real coaches understand, the need to have kids around because that's our profession, so
Right.
we get the opportunity to be in front of kids. That's not something that people should take lightly. I think a lot of coaches, don't know or don't understand the value of that. These kids they're gonna have to be the next taxpayers, right? So,
Right.
it's cool to say, oh, this generation is lost, this generation is messed up, but if they lost and they lost because of us,
That's it.
so at some point, we got to bridge that gap. And so we're at the pinnacle age to where we're not quite the youngest coaches on the block, but we're definitely not the old heads yet.
Right.
And so we're in the middle, to where now we're starting to get a little bit more say so with our name. Obviously in the coaching game, it's all about time put in, and you can't fake experience. So, while we're not whippersnappers, we still got a lot to learn, but we got a lot to give as well. And I think, we're around good people that recognize that what we bring. Even with my wife, she's assistant volleyball and assistant track, soon to be head track somewhere. We're going to figure that part out, be in prayer on that. But we, people recognize it. That's the biggest thing I can say, So we got some great people around us, great mentors, and they're very well connected. So they're putting us in rooms with these people that make changes.
Right.
And, these people that people be calling and emailing for jobs instead of having to send in a resume. All we need to do now is make a phone call. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, we're getting to that point to where, we can start making changes and we can start being in a room where changes are being made.
Right.
And,
Right. That is it. So what is your vision? What is your vision collectively or independently of where you want to go, where you want to take this? What's the next level? What's the next?
Well, for me, I'm still trying to develop as a coach. And so I've had the head roles before. And so then I was young, I was less experienced. I'm not gonna say inexperienced, less experienced.
Right.
And so I just made it a goal to learn from the best. I've always wanted to, if somebody is better than me, well, I need teach me, I'm not gonna be a hater. I'm gonna try to learn with them.
Right.
And so I've been on a mission to kind of do that. I've been studying, I've been researching. Being a coach or being any professional, you have to always be a student of the game. So that's my development. I am aspiring to be another head coach when it is right for the right position. I don't plan on taking just any position because I know my work and I know what my time looks like. So wherever I'm going to be, that's what I'm going to do. And I still have hopes for my facility, whether I'm managing it, running it, owning it, my big retirement plan. I'm going to retire and I'm going to have a facility. And that's my retirement plan.
I'm going to run the city. I plan on running the city. Look, I have aspirations of being a great Black figure in this world, and I don't know what mark that is. Obviously, it's going to be somewhere in the sports world, but I want to influence the community. You feel me? So, I have aspirations, obviously, to be a head coach, but I don't think I want to die a head coach. I know a lot of people that would be happy just being the head coach and just that's what I got in my life. I want more. You know what I mean? I want to run the city. I want to influence the entire community, and if that's a sports community, that's great because, sports changes lives. Sports changed my life. I would have been a little knucklehead, definitely not married and definitely not, doing positive things. But, I had a couple guys that led me along the way, white, Black, Latino, all kind of guys of different races. It didn't matter who they were. I've had a guy of every race influence me and, and make me want to step into this world. So I think that I have a lot of love to give, and I have a lot of ideas that I think, everybody has ideas how things should be ran, but I think we can really get some things done.
Man, that is positive. And I see that you both are so on the road to getting there. You have your vision, you have your plan, and everything, and the work that you're putting in. It is. I applaud you. I'm that old fella. I'm gonna tell you, I'm that old boy. Ain't nothing I say in private that I can't repeat in public. Okay, that's just me. That's just me. If I said it over yonder, hey, I'll say it out here. I applaud y'all, and I for what you're doing. For sticking in. I don't know because I've never been in that what y'all do, but I'm sure that sometimes you may come home and be like, okay.
Every day. every day. Every day, but you can't every day like a new day. Every single day. You taking kids home. You might take a kid home. They got 5-6 cars in the driveway. Like nobody loves you to come pick you up. Nobody loves you to come get you. I gotta use gas, but it's all a part of the story. So you never know what your influence is on the kid. You don't know what these kids remember and what they take and appreciate. So that's kind of how I try to live my life. I wasn't always the fun coach. I used to be a little very serious, especially coming out. I had an idea of how things should have been done, and you learn every day. And
Right.
So I'm now becoming the coach to where just talk to me, bro. Just make sure you're all right, especially in my area that I'm at now. Going to Nolan, kids get therapy. They understand that they might have a mental issue. They might have a mental disorder. They take medicine. They have they have health insurance. They have things that you get with health insurance. Over here, man, kids might not. I'll drop a kid off and they don't have lights at home. The water's off. I gotta stay with my uncle because my water off. I gotta stay with my mom, my granny because my lights off. So you just understanding where you're at. You can't talk crazy, especially with kids, that don't have nothing to lose sometimes, or maybe feel like they don't have nothing to lose. So, stepping into a new zone of being a mentor without breaking kids down, or being a mentor without having just making it all about football, So learning to just reach kids in general, just to make sure that they're okay. So that way, I can, if I need them to do something for me on the football field, they won't think twice about it,
Right.
Just building that.
I mean, and I think that maybe you're instilling something again, the love, the discipline, in a way and in a fashion that maybe they have never had before. You're giving them, and that's what I think a lot of people miss is they want to be a certain kind of way, and we all ain't the same. I mean, we all don't receive it the same. And just like you said, you both of y'all on the front lines, like for real, y'all are on the front line, and you get to see things that most of us only talk about or we hear, but you get to see these kids who are going through the struggles. I've talked to some other teachers that get to see these kids who sometimes what you just said, they ain't got no lights at home. They don't have no food at home, and when you can reach them where they're at and they know, like, Coach Rob care about us, like care. He ain't just, when you can give that to that kid, what you just said is 100%. Because some of them don't feel like they got anything to lose, ain't got nothing to lose no way.
Yeah, and not all of them easy to love either. So don't, y'all listening, don't be thinking that stuff easy. It's not easy. Sometimes you just gotta do it in spite of what them kids saying, because they don't know. These kids be hurting. You never know what these kids going through. They got horror stories. We got some horror stories on our team. I'm not gonna put any of their business out, but we got kids. Their parents don't love them. You know what I mean? So they don't care what they do. They don't care what time they get in. And their life up until now has reflected that. And so, what do you tell that kid? You just tell him I love you, bro. He might cuss at you a little bit, but he don't know how else to talk. So my coach told me something. He said, you're not gonna reverse 16 years of life in 6 months. So you just leave a mark, set your boundary, respect your boundary on both sides. If you set a boundary, you got to be on both sides. So you can't flip the boundary one day and then want them to respect you the next day. You feel me? So you gotta, if you set that boundary, you gotta respect it too. So not all these kids. I'm gonna say it again. Not all these kids are easy to love, but if you don't do it, ain't nobody else gonna do it. They not gonna do it. So You know, everybody deserves a little something. You know, even if it's a little punch and say, "Oh, all right, I love you, bro." That's it. They gonna remember that. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what that's gonna help them through. So just go on, drop that off.
Well, and let me ask you, Miss Ma'am, because you deal with the girls. Is it the same on? Well, not totally with the girls, but is it the same? Do you have experienced the same thing?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I'm a tough coach. I don't hide it by any means. I try to be pretty cool, calm, and collected, but when it comes to track, my love for it is very different. And so I make sure I pour into them, but I'm not gonna waste time. Track is about time. I'm not wasting mine, but I will spend time with whoever needs me to, and it goes beyond the track. So generally, I may, even if it's a phone call for a kid, like, "Hey, how are you doing today? Like, you okay? I know you had a rough day yesterday." And we talk about it all the time, how this generation is very different. I can't, I don't know if I've ever gone home to my mom and just talk crazy about my coach, or, you know, just done things differently. We didn't whine as much. I mean, we may have complained. We may have complained, and we probably was slick at the mouth too. But
y'all was whining. Everybody was whining.
Yeah, possibly. But this generation moves differently.
Yeah.
I would say this generation just definitely moves differently, and they have more options. They have more tools than we did.
Right.
But in a sense, it kind of hinders some of them. Some of them may think that success should be easy because they have it at their fingertips. They have YouTube. They have different tools. Like we had tapes to teach us how to do different things.
Right.
We might have DVDs, and they can just pull it up in an instant. And so when it comes to dealing with trauma and things like that, they're just exposed to a lot more too.
Right.
So, we had phones, we had flip phones, but they can research and they can see videos and things that they shouldn't, and just can be exposed to all kinds of different things. And so, on the girl side, yeah, it's the same. We have horror stories too. We have things that are mentioned. Of course, things that you know that were, I guess, we didn't hear about as much growing up. It just feels like it's a little bit more amplified now. So truly in the last days, but all we can do is just try to make somebody better, even if it's one person. We did our job.
That's it. And that's what it's all about. I mean, it really is. It's going out every day to just, reach one, teach one. If you can reach one, teach one. You go out and you pour in. The truth is, you're right. Everybody's not going to receive. Everybody's not going to receive it. Everybody's not going to want it. But you just keep going. You keep going. You keep pushing.
And they're just like, I think one mentor told me years ago, my first year of teaching, they're just tiny adults. That's how we see the teenagers. They're adults in the making. And so, just like Josh said, how you can't reverse their experiences.
Right.
Well, if they're disrespectful, okay, teach them what it's like to be respectful. Show them by example. It's not a overnight kind of thing, but if you're planting a seed, just keep watering it.
Yes. There you go. Yeah, and that is so it. We have to. I mean, what I look at, and me personally, is that's our future. I think Josh said it earlier. That's going to be the ones. They're going to be the ones one day that's going to be leading. It's going to take over. They only know what we give them, what we pour into them. And maybe one day something happens and the light goes off and they be remembered. Like, I remember when I was out there training, I remember how they actually cared. Or I remember when I met them. Or I remember when they made the phone call. Or I remember when coach dropped me off. Those little things, again, we don't know what effect, but if you pour in positive, you may never ever see that tree grow, but just know that you did your best to water it. And that's all we can do. And man, I applaud y'all. I do want to know more about the Robinson Training Group. I do want to know, how can kids get in? I want to know where it's at. I want to know what it costs. I ain't coming because I don't do no running. And Josh, you ain't finna be screaming at me. It ain't even finna happen. I'm just telling you right. I ain't even finna play like I'm gonna come do any of it.
Yeah, I mean, we're on Facebook. You obviously can add us on Facebook, Robinson Training Group. I will give y'all my phone number, but I don't want y'all calling me. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But you can email us. You can get at us on Instagram, Robinson Training Group at gmail.com. We offer all kind of stuff, but the main thing we do is the world's moving toward a subscription age. So that's what we do. You pay by the month, and you pay for 4 to 5 trainers a month. We have 2 varied prices. Obviously, hers are a little bit different because I'm not doing any of that running either. So I ain't going to make you do something I'm not going to do. But mine are more of an interactive thing. Hers are more of a coaching aspect. You work out with me. And so, it's keeping me in the gym. It's keeping me alive. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure during COVID. Obviously, we were working, but we were saving a bunch of money on gas and daycare. So all of that money we were saving, we were spending on food. So I got real big. I had to lose that weight. So, doctor told me I had high blood pressure. So that's what kind of jump-started my half of the training part. My wife was already doing it. And I would do it sometimes. I value my time. And so when I'm not at football practice, I'm not doing that. So I just recently started getting back into doing more live action training for linemen, and doing more lineman training and footwork and agility drills, things like that. But hers is $150 a month, mine is $125. So, y'all come get this work, man. It's we work. Just don't be scared to work. If we tell you something, it's never personal. Right. Until we get to know you. Obviously, we learn your kids first. We watch film. We do resumes. We help with recruiting and do all kind of different things like that. So with Robinson Training subscription, it comes with all those things. And, sometimes you get our daughter, and sometimes you get a little sister involved with it. So, she's a coach's kid, so she understands her life. If we got to go, and we outside, she's outside. So, but that's us.
Man, and I've seen some of, I want to know about some of them success stories. I seen, look, I watched some of them old pictures y'all have and doing them old MO success. Look, you got to talk about the success stories. You got to tell us about them.
Currently, I think we have 6 athletes that are collegiate athletes. 3 of them are D1 and 3 are D2. They're all competing either football or track. Our most recent success story, Kalen Jones. He was out of Duncanville High School. Everybody knows the national brand of Duncanville High School. He was a high jumper, long jumper. He runs track at UTA Arlington, University of Texas Arlington. And, it's a D1 program. So he's been a highly touted kid. We stay in contact with these kids. We still train them. We help them with, fine tutoring. We're not going to do your classes for you. That's obviously way out the question. But we help them find tutoring. We offer, guidance. Sometimes these kids they just need somebody to talk to. We listen.
College application process too.
College application processes. We help with recruiting. The most recent kids I had was, I try not to count the kids that I coached during school, but I'm involved with them, so I know what the process took, and they work with me just like the other kids. So all my kids in Nolan, shout out to y'all. They jump started me toward my success, and I hopefully I helped them. We had a couple guys sign that, before I got there, honestly, they had no chance. But that's not all me. God did a lot of work with those kids, so all I did was help guide the steps with them. So, but they did a good job. Shout out to my boy Ponce. He transferred to Duncanville. I'm very sad you did that, but I forgive you. You win the state championships now. Big kid. He's gonna go Power 5 D1. So. Very, very highly touted kid. He's a very, very good kid. So I got a couple kids here in my school now. They didn't think that college was possible. I started talking to them about it. Now they're showing up every day in the weight room. Now they look like completely different human beings. So they're huge. And so I'm trying to get them out of here. So if I can get them out, then I can start putting this thing on my resume.
There you go, man. That's great. That is great. I know that, and that you got the. Look, I know that y'all got the real coach over there, so I ain't gonna hold y'all long.
Yeah, the real coach.
But look, I want you to individually and collectively, man, drop a nugget, drop something. If there's something, because I got one question for you at the end, but give something, give your thoughts or what you wanted to leave somebody with.
For me, leave better than me.
Mm.
So, first I give all credit to God for where I am, but I give most of my credit to Patrick Dowies, Patrick Dowies. That man changed my life. A little black girl with a runny nose. He took me in. He trained me. He'll tell you that. I mean, I wouldn't be this person. I wouldn't have ran track. I wouldn't have begged him. I wouldn't have made it a priority. I mean, my mom made it a priority for me to make sure my grades were good, but it was like he made it a competition. It made me want to be successful. And so when I interact with my kids now, I'm not Pat Dowies. I'm not a 5'8" white Cajun man. I'm not. But even if through the tough love and through sometimes disagreements, I want them to leave better than me. Even if it's not in that moment, leave better than me. Think back to, well, how can I be better in that next aspect? I'm going to train you to be better than me. I'm going to teach you to be better than me. I work with special education. And so, we see the impossible stories. It doesn't matter. Be smarter than me. There are no limits. So that would make me proud. If you live better than me and you keep moving the needle and then you give it to somebody else, that's how we make the world a better place. Yes. That's my nugget.
That was good.
And you got to follow it.
Yeah, I guess I got to follow up with that. Look, my barber told me something the other day, and I keep telling everybody this. He said, you only die once, so live every day. And since then, hey, I'm living. So, hey, you can take that, take it with you. That's a good nugget. That's the best nugget I've been living by like the last, 2 months. So, you only die once, so live every single day.
There you go. And I told you when I talked to you earlier, I said, I don't ask no questions. I said, but I only have one. And you know what my one. So I told you that so y'all had time to mull over, to think about it. And my question, because it has become your approval is not needed was my original thing. It's still there. But now I follow it up with this question because I ask myself and I tell myself this and I remind myself every day of this, no matter what I'm going through. So now at the end of every show, I'm going to ask this question of anybody that comes. The question for y'all, again, individually, what is your why?
I got mine. Yeah, Julie.
He asked me you.
Okay. Well, my why, I just want to help kids the same way I was helped. There were areas where I was, even through all the help and guidance, you're still going to need help in other ways. You're going to be unprepared. So I want to give kids every opportunity, everything I got to where they won't struggle the same way I did in certain ways. It was rough some days, and the ways I struggled, whether it was especially college, emotionally, physically. I was always a smart kid. I was an athlete, but I struggled socially and emotionally, sometimes mentally. And so I want to make sure I can help kids in ways that I was helped, in ways that I had to learn. It wasn't fun learning it, though, in the trenches. Right. It was not fun in Ruston, Louisiana. In the trenches. God.
The trenches.
It was the trenches. I don't care what you say. So, yeah, that's why. That's my why.
My why is I know God called me to help little black and brown boys. either find the next level or get out of jail. So I really thought I was gonna be a lawyer growing up for whatever reason. I hate reading, so it didn't work out. So I coach, you know. So you know, I might not be able to help him get out of court, but at least I might be able to help you avoid court altogether. So you feel me? So I knew that I was supposed to be saving little black and brown boys that look like me. I had some coaches, like I said, white, black, Latino. Shout out to my boy Rodriguez. He helped my knee when I was in high school. I have not forgot about you. I love you, bro. But you know, I know I was supposed to be helping black and brown boys make decisions and start to, you know, be the next men and leaders of this world, you know. So people guided me. They didn't have to. You know, men and women, obviously, it wasn't just all men and stuff that changed my life. It was a lot of women as well. But I just know what I was called to do. So that's my why.
Yeah. Well, look, I greatly appreciate y'all taking the time out. Thank you for accepting the reservation to come to the table. And I applaud you for the work that you both are doing individually and collectively with making a difference in this world. And you know how we make a difference. We make a difference in this world just like we eat an elephant, one bite at a time.
I ain't even. I like that. I like that.
That's how we make a difference, one bite at a time. And I thank you, and I applaud you both for your whys. I know that you're already making a difference. You're already making a change. Continue on, continue success, continue blessings to you both. You know, you are such a role model for those kids and for some of us adults. And I'm not ashamed to say that as I look at you too, and I applaud you and I tip my hat to you. I really do. And man, so any closing words from y'all too? Tell them about your look again. Y'all got to tell them about your business. You got to tell. Look, that's what.
Look, hey, Robinson Training. Look, we trying to put monetary value to all this work we're doing, y'all. So y'all come out to Robinson Training, man. If you got some heavy set boys, hey, come work out with your boy. It ain't too hard, you know. We just do a little hour workout. Come get you right. It's great for you. Makes you feel great about yourself.
We have a graduate giveaway coming up.
Oh yeah.
On Friday. So
yeah.
We talked about transition in the beginning. So the transition from high school to college it can be rough on some. Whether
it is rough.
It's rough. Whether physically, financially, mentally, emotionally, you know, there are ways that I was prepared that he wasn't, and vice versa. So we try to bridge that transition before they get there. You know, we try to let them have a safe space where they can ask the questions that they might be too scared to ask their parents, you know, things that, you know, you might not just want to tell anybody.
Right.
But we open that door and we want to talk about it, and we want to just allow them a safe space to ask whatever they want. We'll also be providing dinner, and we'll be providing a small care package.
Look, you know my ears perked up. You said my famous word, okay?
Yeah.
That was the word.
So the good news is we're sponsored by Chick-fil-A and others. Sit up. So we also should be planning to release a virtual session of this, because there are people that are not close to us or able to be here in house with us, but we do want to provide something for those who anywhere, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in California, Louisiana, Mississippi, whatever. You know, we want to make sure that at least if we help one person do that transition, that's great. And we'll also have other people who we've had come to these events come back and share as well. You know, we're collecting videos from them in different aspects, and they can share their stories of what happened with them. So things that may have worked or things that they're seeing now, since, you know, college is getting a little bit more different since COVID.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. Y'all make sure y'all go and follow and support the Robinson Training Group. Catch them on Facebook, catch them on Instagram, You can email them, the Robinson Training Group. Look, I want to say that, is it Dallas?
Yes.
Yes, you can say Dallas.
You can
yeah.
say, yeah, we close. We live in DeSoto, so if you know, you know. If you don't, we in Dallas.
Robinson Training Group up in Dallas. Look, y'all look them up. Y'all go support them. These fine young adults are doing a wonderful. They're making a difference in this world. And I thank y'all again. I thank you so very much for stopping by. And you're always welcome back at any time you want to come back. Open reservation. Y'all look, you ain't even got to call ahead for a reservation now.
Say no more. Look, I'll pop up.
You got an open reservation. You got an open reservation. Man, look, as I close this thing out, as I always do, I say this. If God has given you a vision, if he has given you a vision, it don't matter what folks say. It don't matter who believe in you. It don't matter who talk about you, who tell you that you can't, you're too this, you're too that. If God has given you a vision, trust this old boy right here. I'm going to tell you, if he's giving you a vision, he will provide the provision for that vision. All you got to do is keep going. Because understand this from this old boy right here. If we do our part, God going to do the rest. I promise you that. You ain't got to tell me nothing. I already know. But we have to do our part, and he will do the rest. You just keep on pushing. You keep on going. You don't stop. You don't stop. And lastly, but not leastly, y'all know y'all finna hear from my big old mouth right here, right now. Look, if you woke up this morning and you looked around the old house, there wasn't nobody there, kind of like him, ain't nobody here, just hear my old echo. You know, when I rolled over, didn't see nobody. And if you got up today and it was the middle of the day and you're strolling around, I'm in the Texas heat, so I was about to burn up. So I really wasn't looking for nobody to tell me. But then you done made it here to the almost 9 o'clock hour. And if you ain't heard it, you're finna hear it right now. Look at here. I'm going to tell you from the bottom of my heart that I love you. I love you.
Love you too.
I love you unconditionally. Oh, and there ain't nothing, absolutely, positively nothing that you can do about it. I thank y'all. I thank both of y'all for coming. Thank you so very much. Man, it has been a blessing. Y'all have a good night. Look, I'm gonna let the Robinsons go on and take care of the coach. Thank y'all so much, and we are out of this thing.
All right.